What's up, Lakers supporters? Happy New Year. Happy 2020. Welcome to the Laker Chisme podcast. I'm your host, Jacob. We have a lot to get into since I haven't put one of these up. Not that you give a shit, but since I haven't put one up since I think December 20th, and that was prior to this current 9-game winning streak that the Lakers are on right now. That includes, minus certain games, minus AD, minus LeBron, minus Danny Green, possibly. So I can say that at least in this portion of the season, I'm very happy, and I guess you could call it elated to see to know what I'm seeing as far as the Lakers and how their performance is. It seems like, just to go full circle, it seems like Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka did an excellent job during the offseason to surround LeBron, KCP, Kuzma, Rondo. I don't know if I forgot anyone else, but anyone from last season that's still here, surrounding them with the appropriate talent, some of the best talent in the league. The right role players, guys who know how to win, people who have won at the collegiate level, at the NBA level, and of course, the holy grail outside of the NBA is, the Olympics. So we have a couple of gold medalists on the team, which is very helpful throughout the season. Not many teams can say that. So it's no surprise that the Lakers are breaking records. LeBron's breaking records, not just franchise records, but as things progress, you'll see them break NBA records and hopefully playoff and finals records. Hopefully they'll set the tone moving forward, because we're already mid-January. A month from now will be mid-February, which of course is All-Star break. Get your votes in if you haven't already. Mines are heavily centered on one team and the personnel on that team. But definitely going to be exciting this next couple of weeks. The Lakers play Orlando tomorrow, which is Wednesday, the 15th of January, 2020. And after that, they go on I think it's a 5-game, 8-day road trip. So they're hitting Houston. They're going to play the Knicks at MSG. They're going to play the Sixers in Philly, which is definitely going to be tough. I'm extremely excited to see that one. They're playing Boston Monday. So they have a lot of tests for the Eastern Conference coming up. But so far in the West, in the Pacific, it seems like the Lakers are on top. They definitely have to adjust some of the teams that they played, but I'm not too concerned about that because the season is going along as it should. They still have the best record in the Western Conference. They have the best record in the Pacific Division and the second best record in the league, behind the Milwaukee Bucks. Also, aside from that, LeBron got Player of the Week last week or a week or two ago. But last night, January 13th, 2020, he passed Isiah Thomas from the Detroit Pistons as, I think it's 8th all-time assist leader. So who would have predicted that when LeBron came into the league? Nobody. I mean, everyone looked at him like a scorer. And now what we're seeing later in his career, at least as a Laker fan, not as a LeBron fan, because, I support my team first before I support the players. But seeing how he progressed to becoming a facilitator, distributor, someone who can run the floor, someone who knows the length of the floor, just like Anthony Davis. Like those, if you watch LeBron's passes, if they're going full court, they're calculated. They're not, he's just throwing this up. So the fact that he can be in the top 10 of all time assist leaders, and everyone knows who the great assist leaders have been, including he just passed Gary Payton a couple of weeks ago. So this is not a joke. It's not a game. He's 35, 17th year in the league. It's great to see it. And what he's doing with his assists is getting more of his teammates involved. People like Dwight Howard, who you can see is back to play. He looks like Dwight Howard from Orlando. Kuzma's getting into it. Kuzma, of course, needs more minutes. And my thing, coming off these two big games in Oklahoma City and the game prior to that, Kuzma, in my opinion, should play a little bit more defense and also rebound more. I think if he takes care of a few of these things, these tweaks, that's what I call them, just like free throw shooting. You put a little more effort into your, not that Kuzma needs help with the free throw shooting, but in general, you put a few more minutes, a little bit more time into certain aspects of your game, you can fill out and be more well-rounded. And that's what the Lakers need. They don't need to trade Kuzma because, as far as I know, Kuzma was brought in by Rob Pelinka. So that's his, not his baby in a like a raising sense, but more so like that's his. He wants to see Kuzma flourish because that speaks to Kuzma and that speaks to Rob as a, what is he, VP of operations now, president of the Laker organization, because of course he got promoted because we've seen how well the team has done throughout the season. So they don't need to trade Kuzma. However, they need to add additions. My personal addition, I think that the Lakers need another facilitator to get them through the playoffs. Not only the season, but of course we're looking at the playoffs. They need to get someone like Darren Collison if they have the ability, because they can play, as far as I know, they can pay him $1.75 million, which is above, I think, the veterans minimum. So they can bring him out of retirement. He's local. He went to Etowanda High School. He's from Rancho, Cucamonga. He went to UCLA. He knows how to distribute. I'm pretty certain he played for Frank Vogel in Indiana. He's already played for Doc Rivers. He's already done the Clippers thing. He doesn't have to do that again. So to me, it makes the most sense if the Lakers don't make a play for buying Iguodala out from Memphis. It makes the most sense for them to just grab Collison to help them throughout the playoffs. And that would alleviate a lot of the load that LeBron's incurring, the rest of the team. But they also, as we've seen the last few games, because the Lakers are coming out on top early in the first 2 to 3 quarters, we're seeing more of the rotation. And that's what they need. They need Troy Daniels, Quinn Cook, Dudley, everyone in the rotation. They don't have to get, no one's going to get 30, 35 minutes a game, with the exception of a few players. But if you're in the rotation, that's a great thing because they're going to need it. This is a long haul. We're not even halfway through the season yet. And what I've seen from Vogel and Hollins, Jason Kidd, and their trainers, they're doing a lot of methodic, analytical work. It's not load management. They're playing basketball. They're doing what they need to do to go the marathon, go the long run, so that they can get to the finals. That's ultimately what everyone's centered around, including anyone who's a supporter. So, very optimistic about where they're headed. I think there's just a few tweaks, and I really think they need an addition. They don't need the shooting. That's not their problem. Their defense, more or less, is on point. What they need is someone who knows how to handle the ball and can shoot from the outside, but it also can get you assists. They don't need so much shooting as they need someone who knows how to make plays while not scoring. So I think there's a real shot this next month or two to see what the Lakers can pull off, but I'm excited to see it, and I hope that they extend their winning streaks, because my last point being that that's what the great teams do. The championship caliber teams don't just go on one or two streaks throughout the season. They go on multiple streaks. So there's a lot of winning going on in LA, in the South Bay. And I hope that it continues, and I hope that you join me for another episode. Thanks for joining.